let's talk about 2023 and the goals I hit financially and the goals that I completely missed, as well as some reflections on what we did financially poorly and what we could do better in the new year. This is honestly just a video of my ramblings and reflections, so feel free to skip it and go on to something a little bit more useful for you personally. I have a ton of educational videos on the channel and lots of tutorials and things like that. But today I just wanted to kind of talk about my own situation and what I learned for 2023, where I can do better, and kind of recap the year for myself so I can look back on this and also share with a few of you who have been with me all year and for the last 5 years here on YouTube. So this is mainly a channel about money and finances, and honestly in 2023, our finances weren't the best. I felt like money was so much tighter, our budget was so much tighter, and a few times we went over budget in the fact that we had a credit card statement that we were like, do we pull from savings to pay this? How are we gonna pay this? This is beyond what we should have spent. And that was really frustrating to me because it felt like the last 2 years we had so much money. It felt like we had so much money coming in. It felt like we had so much money to spend, and we definitely let our lifestyles kind of creep up a little bit. So I definitely learned a lot of lessons about spending in the last year. Basically, we have to personally watch our lifestyle inflation because that is super easy for us to do. I love doing things. I love going and doing experiences. I love being able to spend time with people outside of my house. I'm not really a homebody. My husband is, but I'm not really a homebody. So I want to go out, and going out usually means spending money. And having friends that also like to do that means that I am kind of spending more than I used to on just entertainment, recreation, things like that. And I am seeing that it's really, really easy to inflate the lifestyle that we have. And so I have put in now in the later part of the year some limits on that. I did recognize that in 2023 and I was kind of spending way too much. So I did put some limits on it. So I am doing kind of once a month outings as a family, kind of things like that, which are really special and awesome. And I definitely want to spend money on those things, but I just need to put boundaries and limits on it. So basically a budget instead of it being an unlimited amount of money that is spent just because I want to do things all the time because I have FOMO and I love doing stuff. So definitely looked at a little bit of my psychology and how I spend money on things and realized, okay, we need to maybe limit that. And so we've made that change. And then also we have looked at how inflation in general is affecting our budget, things that we don't control. So that one is definitely one that I control. But the fact that groceries are so much more expensive, even just the basics, even if you're shopping at the stores that are the cheapest, it's still more than it was a year ago. And we also now have a little one that is eating real food. So that is a bigger expense in our budget. We spend a lot of money on food now, and that is something that we have to kind of work with and try to find ways to manage in the best way possible. So definitely shopping smartly, shopping with sale, shopping with, coupons if we can, things like that, which is not necessarily my personal style or what I like to do. But when I see that grocery number right under my mortgage spending for the month, and I realize we spent such a huge chunk of our money for the month on things that we eat, is okay, maybe we should kind of look at this and adjust. So that's something we're still working on, but 2023 definitely showed me that money can be tighter with the ways that your either lifestyle inflation or just inflation in general fits into your lifestyle. So you have to pay attention to those things and adjust where you can. That is something that I personally had to learn and we are still working on. But it was definitely a huge eye-opener for me in the year of 2023 because I don't like when money's tight. I don't. I want a bigger cushion. I want more security. I want money just there for me. I don't want it to be tight. I don't like that feeling. I don't like the scarcity mindset. I don't like feeling like we don't have enough. I don't like that at all. And that was a huge lesson in 2023 for me. So basically cut expenses, raise income, make that gap wider, because in 2023 it felt like this. It felt like it was on top of each other. Instead of having a huge gap where our income's up here and our expenses down here, we have all this money in between. It was like that. And that was not the vibe for me. That's not the vibe for me. Maybe it is for some people, but no, I just did not like that. So another lesson in 2023 is that experiences, that spending that we were doing on experiences and going out and going to places and like special things was 100% worth it. Our Disney trip, worth it. It like changed my son's life. It is, honestly, I'm so glad we went. It was super, super expensive, but the memories from that trip like are amazing. I would love to go again, even though we won't be going anytime soon. We went to Disney on Ice. My daughter loved that. Things like that. Special events and experiences and travel. I remember every single second. Every single second. So the money I spent was enjoyed before with the planning of it. It was enjoyed there when I was actually there. And it's enjoyed months and months and months after. So those things, 100% worth it. The funny thing is, I can't remember a 10% of the stuff I bought last year at all. In 2023, I do not know where I spent money on Amazon and like Target. No clue. I mean, I think I bought some stuff in my house. I think I bought some clothes, but do I remember specifically? No. It just kind of blends in. But those experiences they stand out and they're so special and I love them so much. So that kind of spending has definitely been worth it and something that I want to continue for sure. And then the final kind of reflection that I've been having in the last couple days as I look back on 2023 is that my income needs to change. I'm making decent money for where I live. I make the salary of like a job I could get, but I am not living up to my potential of what YouTube could be for me. And that is honestly on me because I do not make enough videos. I definitely in 2023 let being a mom, taking care of my kids, definitely override being a YouTuber, being a content creator. And I spent way more time on them, which I don't regret or anything. Obviously, I love my kids and I love how much time I spent with them, but I let that be my priority over making videos, and that reflected in my income. I was thinking about that the other day because I was like kind of looking through different channels and seeing, oh wow, they have like twice as many views as me. That's amazing. Like they must be making decent money. And then I realized I looked at their channel and they made like 4 times as many videos in the last 30 days as me. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. More videos tends to be more views, which tends to be more money. And that is kind of an obvious lesson. And it's something that I kept coming back to over and over again in 2023. And I really only kind of caught up to making more videos in the end of the year, but it wasn't enough to kind of balance the first part of the year where I wasn't working as hard and I wasn't making as many videos. So I'm super proud of how much money I do make, and I'm super proud of how much like this has provided for my family and the fact that we do pay all our bills right now. But I also know that I'm not going to be on YouTube making videos for the next 30 years. This is not like a 30-year career necessarily. Most people kind of quit within 10 years or so. So if I'm going to do this for the next 5 years or so, I need to make more money so that it's worth it, so we can put away like big chunks of money. I need to make more now so that it's like this kind of like a athlete career. You make a ton of money for a few years and then you're done and then you make zero. It's not something that you do steady over time. So that's kind of how I'm viewing it, but I'm also realizing like I've been treating it like a regular job. Like, oh, I'm like, I make enough, that's fine. But I'm not treating it like it could be where I could make a ton because the potential is there. I just haven't pursued it. And I've definitely taken the easy way out and the minimum amount of money I can. So I'm kind of playing around with how I want to adjust that in the next year and kind of fixing some of the roadblocks I have, maybe getting an editor again. I had one for a while and then they quit or disappeared. And like that's been a thing, like editors come and go, things like that. I'm just playing around with ideas. I'm not totally sure which direction I want to go yet, but I know that I can't do what I did in 2023. So while I make a decent amount now, I would like to double or triple that. I would like to make way more money, not to be like fancy or anything, but just to stash that money away for when I know that I'm not going to be doing this, because I know it's not a forever career. It's just not. People burn out. I see it all the time. People just like stop making videos because one of the things is like I quit my job to do this. So I definitely didn't want to build another like rat race prison for myself. And I still don't. But I definitely want to make sure that I'm also viewing it as something that's not going to last forever. And so I need to take advantage of it, whereas I haven't had that mindset. So that's just some thoughts on my income and where I'm going in the new year, where I'm going with this channel. Definitely with like our budget being so tight and needing to make more money, that obviously goes hand in hand. And it's something that's been really heavy on my mind lately, which has been interesting as at the end of the year, we've closed out on having so many different sicknesses. So I haven't been able to work once again. So kind of thinking through my workflow and content production and scheduling it out in the new year is a big thing for me. Part of me thinks I just need like an assistant that can help me do the basic stuff that I can't always get to. So it wipes it off my schedule so that I can focus 100% on the production of content. But I'm still playing around with like what I actually want to hire out. I don't know. Those are just some unfiltered thoughts on the business that you guys don't normally get. And so financially in 2023, we did okay. We did hit 2 out of 3 of our main financial goals. So basically we funded our Disney trip in full. We paid for that in cash. We just covered it and didn't have to pay any credit card interest on the trip. So that was great. And we did get a lot of like Disney gift cards from family for birthdays, Christmas. Like we saved up for a while on those and I bought a lot too. So we did that trip as cheaply as we could. And I really am glad we did because like I said, that trip gave us memories that are ridiculously amazing. Like they are still talked about and thought about every single day. And we went in June. So like 6 months ago, amazing trip, like so worth it. And I'm really, really glad we paid for it like upfront instead of waiting and paying for it afterwards. And so our other goal that we fully funded was my Roth IRA. I track that on the channel because it's under my name. I don't always track everything we do with our finances because my husband does like his privacy. He is a much more private person than me and he doesn't necessarily want to share everything in the world. So I only track certain goals here on the channel, and one of them is my Roth IRA because I think Roth IRAs are such amazing retirement accounts for people. I love them. I am their biggest fan, possibly the biggest fan. So I have a lot of videos on those and I track my own here on the channel, and we did fund that in 2023 in full, which was super exciting because I've only funded it in full for a couple of years now. And I'm like, you know, pushing 40, so I need to really be saving for retirement as much as I can. So that was a great goal and one that we funded. And then the last goal we did not hit. Oh, we did not. We did not hit all of our goals because we did not hit our house savings goal. In 2023, I set a goal of $20,000 for our house savings, and that was a stretch goal, and I knew it was a stretch goal. I guess I was super optimistic about my income, and then obviously that didn't work out as planned. Definitely did not, and because it did not, instead of the $20,000, we got about halfway there. We did save almost $10,000. We were at like $9,500. So that's a good chunk of money, and like I'm really happy about it, especially as our expenses for family every single month went up. So I'm really happy that we did still manage to put away $9,500, almost $10,000, but we did not hit that stretch goal. We did not hit $20,000, and that was kind of a bummer. Like I was really sad that I wasn't able to hit a bigger goal that I had set for myself. So basically financially in 2023, we had some wins, we had some misses. We had a interesting year full of a lot of fun. We had some struggles as well, both health-wise and financially. We, you know, just didn't hit all of our goals. And we struggled month to month with the rising expenses of our family, especially in our grocery budget. So, you know, there was a lot to reflect on, both good and bad. And I think that's most people have good and bad financially. And it's important to look at both of them and learn from both of them so that we can adjust and change and grow from there. So yeah, that's kind of all I've thought about in the last couple of days related to my 2023. I just wanted to recap and share some of my reflections with you guys. I would love to hear how your year went. Let me know in the comments what your goals were and if you hit them and any reflections you had. So let me know. I would love to hear how your year went, and definitely make sure you check out this next video. I think it'll be perfect for you.